Hi, I'm Jon. I'm a designer and developer at a startup called Makeshift. We're kind of like a digital product design agency, but we don't have any clients. We work on our own things and we try and build products that give a leg up to the little guy. One of the things that we're best at is building things really, really quickly and on kind of generalist teams, so that's what I'm going to be talking about tonight. So the most recent thing that we've been working on is a product called Hire My Friend. The thinking is, it's not what you know, it's who you know. But a lot of the time, when people are in full-time jobs, you don't have the mobility that freelancers have to move jobs. So we've created a way that you can use your friends to help you get a job, and that's something that I'm really excited about and I'm going to be showing some of tonight. I'm not going to talk about our products today, I'm going to talk about how we make products. We're quite passionate about building things quickly and not messing about, and building things that help people, building products that give a leg up to the little guy. So just a couple of tips and tricks that I've picked up over the past couple of months. Working with generalists, working with Jacks and Jills of all trades is really important to us. I think it's the key to being able to go fast. The key here is Ajax. It's one of my key inspirations. I'm not talking about the JavaScripty thing that you might use to make flashy things happen on your website. Actually, I'm talking about these guys. Ajax, the Dutch football team. For the 70s, I'm really disappointed by the lack of moustaches, but we can deal with that. This is a bit before my time, probably before most of our times, but in the 70s and late 60s, they had this system called total football. The idea was that any outfield player, any defender or striker or midfielder or whatever, the idea was that they could all do each other's jobs. The idea was that, if the defender went over there, then the striker could come back and, fill in for each other. But what does this have to do with design? That's the 70s Dutch people. We're talking about design tonight. These guys, one of my favorite design studios, favorite graphic design studios, Experimental Jet Set. They're Dutch, and they grew up with with total football as a system. And I read an interview with them once when they were talking about how that influenced their work ethic. They called it total design, influenced by total football. But the idea, again, is that they're just a studio of 3 people. But the idea is that everyone could fill in for each other, everyone could do each other's job. I read this article with them years and years and years ago, but I think at Makeshift, it's really something that we're starting to do. And these guys, they were 3 designers. At Makeshift, well, we're all kind of designer, hybrid programmer, UX-y, kind of product manager, kind of social media, kind of do all the things. So yeah, I think this is key to what we do. One of the benefits of having generalists on your team, you don't get the benefit of specialist UX experience or anything like that. But it means whether we're building products with a team of 5 people or 3 people or 1 person, you can ship an entire app from start to finish. And that's great for going fast. It means that if I have a problem with something, with a program, with the programming question, I don't have to wait for that one back-end developer over there to be free to help me out. If I need a design review, well, we can all do design reviews, so that's awesome. Another key to what we've picked up as a team is getting good at working together, getting good at just shipping apps together. Again, another retro. I'm not that into football, but these metaphors kind of seem to come together. So Manchester United, one of the reasons they were so dominant for so long was because the team worked together for a very, very long time. The manager was the same for I think longer than I've been alive, and there was a lot of consistency there. You don't replace one of your key players the day before the FA Cup final. You use teams who have worked together and who know how each other play. Lots of startups, that's why Combinator, you can't really see it in that photo, but lots of startups kind of have a problem where they think of an amazing idea, maybe they get some funding, maybe it's just 2 of them or something, and they go and they make loads and loads of mistakes, and then they grow the team after that. One of the benefits to doing what we do is that if you have the team in place first, well then you build a couple of products, and then by the time you hopefully make one that's actually any good, you've got good at doing stuff as a team. And in incubators and startup accelerators and stuff, you've got this kind of weird thing going on where loads and loads of teams go in and go out, and loads of mistakes happen. And that's great learning experiences, great customer learning experiences, great experiences building things with technology. and people are funding this. But every 3 months, things get things change over again. But all the learning that's done, all the customer conversations, everything, all the technical tidbits picked up, that's all lost. So for places like Y Combinator or whatever it is, you're losing a hell of a lot of learning just by having those teams recycle. So by keeping the team the same but changing the products rather than changing the product and the teams all the time, we think there's lots of benefit in that. So building the teams first. This is also starting to be done across the world. There are other startups who have the same kind of idea. Get the team in place, get some money in, and then just work on getting good at doing startup-y stuff. This is a photo of the guys at BetaWorks in New York, who are a big inspiration, and there are loads of studios popping up doing a similar thing. But I think this model is fantastic compared to either your traditional startup models, where you go and you make mistakes and you probably fail, or from an incubator where you have loads of people who fail at the same time and you don't retain any of that knowledge. The best products are the ones you make for yourself. This is probably a bit controversial, but I love this book. I love this book and I love customer development and I love all of that stuff. But there's one problem that I found over the years, mentoring startups and working at startups and kind of preaching the Eric Ries gospel. I'm quite selfish. I love building products for myself. And I think, lots of people, lots of UX people, as much as we preach empathy and stuff, it's quite fun making things for yourself. I like building products that excite me, not just ones that I've kind of customer developed my way into and I see dollar signs in front of my eyes. I like building products where I'm excited about the domain and it's something that I want for myself. The two of them aren't mutually exclusive. It doesn't mean either you sell out and you do some customer development on something you don't care about, or you do something you care about. I think it's really exciting when you come up with a problem yourself, when it's something that you're really, really passionate about, and then from there you use all of your you use your lean startup principles and you use your customer development principles. That didn't happen. Anyway, an example of that would be a product that we just launched. It's called Hire My Friends. So I freelanced for quite a few years, and I loved the Twitter thing that happens. Hey guys, I'm looking for work from Monday. Can you retweet this, please? That's sweet. That's really good when you're a freelancer. The problem is when you're in a full-time job, well, you kind of lose all of that. I can't tweet, hey, I hate my boss. Is anyone looking for a designer? Because then I'd get fired. So I thought that sucked. And then over the next couple of months, I started prototyping. First, my girlfriend had the same problem, and then some of my really, really close friends had a very similar problem. And we've just picked this up at Makeshift. So a way to get your network to get you hired whilst you're still stuck in a full-time job. The point is, I don't really want to talk about the product too much, but the point is, it was a domain that I was really, really excited about to start with. It was a problem that I'm really excited to start with. And now is the time for me to go and explore, with customer development and problem discovery and stuff. So I think you can kind of mix those two things together. So, designing things for people like you is really sweet. Process is really important. One of the things that attracted me to Makeshift was the idea of 100% time, kind of like Google's 20% time. You can do things 20% that excite you. We've got the idea of 100% time where we all the time we're supposed to be working on amazing stuff that we love. How does it work in practice? Well, most of my friends think we just kind of walk along all day, playing with cool new tech and looking at GIFs of kittens and colouring in pictures of unicorns with Crayolas and stuff, which is what I thought it would be as well. But it actually turns out it has to be much more structured than that. You can't just put people in a room and say, go and do whatever you want, because you kind of lose attention there. So process is really, really important to us. It's the thing that that keeps the consistency between projects. I don't know about you guys, but just sitting at home in the evenings, I usually have 100 side projects on the go, and no client to show them to. I never end up shipping anything. I have the same thing going on for months and months and months. So if with your free time, fair enough, you've wasted a couple of evenings, a couple of months, whatever. But when you're kind of full-time experimenting like this, I think it's really important to have structure and process and be disciplined about what you're working on when. And the last thing that I just want to talk about is having fun. I don't know how many of you guys work at agencies versus startups versus whatever. How many of you have had that boss who makes you stay in the office like 12 hours and kind of that stuff? That's not fun. Sometimes you deploy some code or whatever that breaks the site, or you have a customer, big sale that falls through, or someone says something mean about you on the internet. That stuff sucks. But working at startups is really fun. And I think it's important to remember that, to actually just work as hard as you can and then, make sure you have fun at the end of the day, because that's why we're doing this rather than working in banks or whatever. All this working 18 hours a day, #hustling, or, whatever people say on Twitter, it's kind of meaningless. Like, the most important thing is to have fun. And if you've just started a company around fixing the recruitment industry, well, I'd like to leave you with this. It's important to pull pranks on recruitment agencies. Crap, you can't read that. Hi, John. Your site has been recommended to us to use as a recruiter, but as I click on the recruitment link under Contact Us, it takes me to a full-hour Rick Astley video. Are you aware of this? So it was important for me to, even when we were trying to ship this thing, and, we had people asking, I spent my last week just replying to emails. It's really important to me to, just take some time out to make sure you fit some pranks in there. Thanks.